Hello and welcome back to the tutorial series in the pool house drawings. The last time we spoke, I was showing you how to offset wall sections for either a brick stone, a siding, or a stucco wall. I showed you how to clean up the corners and join them up using the fillet tool, and I also showed you how to use trim for those instances as well. But today we're going to talk about interior walls. And I also said that I would use a different style of pool house design for every lesson, so I'm keeping to that. So today I've got something a little more simplified for you. I have a rectangular pool house. Your pool house may look rectangular as well. It may have an L shape. It may have bump outs. It doesn't really matter as long as you're adhering to the project specifications and the scope of what the clients are looking for. You're totally fine because you're the designer. And I keep saying that over and over. We're going to take a look at the hub again. And just for a minute, I showed you the wall sections module, the last video I made. I'm not going to go into this file again. I just want you to take a look at this right here where it says, note, interior walls must be drawn 5.5 inches wide. So that's going to be the wall section thickness of the interior walls. We're just going to have basically one offset to do that. But there's a couple of different ways that you can do this. I'm going to show you two different ways. And this all has to do with how you made your pencil and paper drawing with the grid spaces. Some of you may have decided that you wanted a room to be, let's say, I'm going to go with the size, and again, try not to read too much into the sizes I'm using, right? Your pool house design, your room size is going to be your own. I'm just using this as a tutorial just to kind of show you how to do procedure and process. So let's say I wanted my kitchen to be 10 feet dash 8 dash 3 quarters. And I forgot my apostrophe. Okay. So that should be correct. 10 feet, 8 3/4. I'm going to offset this line over, and I just want to measure it. 10 feet, 8 3/4. Okay, we're good. Now, we have to show the wall thickness. Now, there's a couple of ways, there's a few ways you can do this. You can pick offset again. You can type your thickness, which is 5.5 inches. And you can offset this line to the left, which is also going to take a little bit of space out of your room. You could offset it to the right, which would just take away from your sitting area. Or you could offset this way. What is half of 5.5 inches? 2 dash 3/4, 2 3/4. So that's what I'm going to do for my first offset. I'm going to split it up between my kitchen and my sitting area. I'm going to offset this line 2 3/4 per side, which is going to give me the 5.5 inches. So that is one way you can do it. And it's up to you how you want to do this. Okay, so that's 5.5 inches. This line here, the original one I offset, I don't need, so I'm going to erase it. Alright, so this is the start of my galley kitchen. Now, for aesthetic looks, make sure you do this. Trim between the wall here. We're also going to do that at the bottom. So we're going to right click, left click, repeat trim, select the boundaries, and trim away this part of your wall. Right? This is very clean looking. Make sure you do that in every instance when you're trimming interior walls. All right. So now we're going to look at a storage room and a bathroom. So again, I'm going to offset. I got a new size I'm going to use. I'm going to go 7 feet and 6.5 inches. Again, offset the most inner exterior wall over to the left. And I'm also going to offset vertically 9 feet. Okay, let's trim. This is my boundary. Right click, left click, enter to trim. So I've got a very generous sitting room here. And now we're going to be adding the wall thicknesses to the storage area in the bathroom. I'm going to do it a little differently than I did over here. I'm just going to make it a little more easier on myself. I'm going to go offset. I'm going to type in 5.5 inches, and I'm going to offset this line over to the left, and I'm going to offset this line above. Right, so that is the other way that you can do this. You don't need to split up the 2 3/4 between rooms, because in most cases it's negligible. Right, I just wanted to make sure that I showed you the 2 different ways to do it. So the last thing I have to do with this is trim. Down here, trim that part of the wall. And then I also have to do the same thing here. So I've got boundaries. And that is it. So I have all the rooms placed. Now, this isn't set in stone, right? As I go, it may be advantageous to make rooms larger, smaller. You don't have to stick to your rough plan exactly. But again, this project needs to evolve, and it's going to do so as we go. I'm going to have lessons on how to show you how to fix things that come up. And so the next lesson we're going to cover is placing doors and windows. And watch for that one in a couple of days. Thank you, and talk to you later.